I've already reviewed the EC10, I did the EC-256 Purple, and now I'm gonna do the EC-256 Black. This time I'm gonna do it as a comparison between those two. They were made in the same factory a month apart. Even though they have some small differences, this one doesn't have a maple cap, this one does, they are basically the same model. I'll check the consistencies and inconsistencies of manufacturing. Things like the fretwork, the operation of the truss rod, the installation of the screws. Most of you probably know that two guitars are never the same, especially in the affordable price range like these two. Let's see just how different these two are. The EC-256 is an upgrade to the EC-10, which is the entry level of Eclipse series LTD guitars. It is made in the World Musical Instrument Factory in Indonesia. They are a subcontractor to ESP. I've already explained what a subcontractor is in my ESP vs LTD Iron Cross video. There I have some footage from the World Musical Instrument Factory in Indonesia. Long story short, they are not specialized in only making LTD. They make Schecter, Chapman and other brands there. The EC-256 is in the affordable price range. This means that they are producing a lot of guitars daily. As with most products on the market, when you have to produce something in large quantities for a short amount of time and affordable price, the end result is inconsistencies of quality and craftsmanship. Then there's the quality control check and the overall setup, which most of the time is conducted in-house or in the USA, for example, for some guitars that are meant for the US market or for Europe. You put all of those variables together and two of the same guitars might feel quite different from each other. Such is the case with this Black ESP EC-256 and the Purple Sunburst that I've recently reviewed. I'm going to demonstrate my point. I'm not at all happy with the way they installed the screws and the plate of the three-way switch. I have to lift it in order to unscrew this one. Same was the situation of the plate for the electronics. I think those were done in a hurry, installed crookedly, and they've messed up the wood. They are probably using some sort of industrial automatic screwdrivers and they're over tightening the screws. That's why on cheaper guitars I'm using a screwdriver in order to feel the grip and movement of the screws. Having a thirsty fingerboard is usual for new guitars. I'm gonna take care of this one. I'm gonna polish the frets and oil the fingerboard. It's gonna become darker, like the roasted jatoba on this EC-256 Purple Sunburst that I've recently oiled. The fretwork installation and the inlays seem to be cleaner and better on the Black EC-256. On this one, if you watch the review, there's a lot of glue on the 21st fret and there was some residue from the fret installation from the glue. The Black EC-256 doesn't seem to have these problems, but instead has another one. The fret finishing work is awful. These overhang and scratch. Nowhere near as good as the ones on the Purple Sunburst, but this one had the problem with the glue. These are inconsistencies in manufacturing that we are used to seeing in guitars under $1,000 and worse off, sometimes over $1,000. Another example, the covers of the electronics, the screws for them and the screws for pickup rings were better installed on this one. On the Black I had a hard time removing them. Why is this happening? They're done in the same factory, right? 1 month apart. Well, you see, there are people working on those. Someone was having a bad day, someone was having a good day, someone was behind schedule. The end result is two guitars that are supposed to be the same, but not exactly. With all I said in mind, your best option is always to go to a shop that has those in stock. If you're a beginner, go with a friend that knows what he's doing. You can check the obvious stuff, the fretwork, the setup and intonation. Obviously you cannot disassemble it like I do, but some defects can be visible when you just pick up the guitar. If you're buying online, I wish you best of luck. You can always return it, but you never know what problem the other one will have. If you watched my Purple Sunburst EC-256 review, you've probably saw the same problem here near the truss rod nut. They're consistent in messing up the finish around it, and I have to chip it away in order to access the truss rod. How are they even doing the final setup without noticing this? Well, I'm gonna tell you how. The truss rod was extremely loose, it wasn't set at all. The smart thing to do would be to always give your brand new guitar to a proper tech to set it for you and your preferences. You can pause for the specs or watch me go through them. Mahogany body and no maple cap on this one. 3-piece mahogany neck, set neck construction, roasted Jatoba fingerboard with 22 extra jumbo frets. LTD branded tuners and LH150 pickups that have split capability through the push-pull tone pot. Sung Il Korean-made pneumatic metric bridge and tailpiece. 3-way switch. The maple top on the Purple Sunburst is not purely cosmetic though, it is harder and denser wood and adds rigidity to the body. It's also a heavier wood, that's why you cannot make the entire body out of maple. Then there's the tonal characteristics. Mahogany body, whole mahogany body, sounds darker. When you add a maple cap, it brings a little bit of brightness, as you heard in the pickups measure similar to the ones in the EC-256 Purple Sunburst. The bridge measures at 15.72. Switching over to the neck, at 11.91. Both pickups are at 6.77. Now I'm gonna split them to see what they measure. The bridge split is at 7.95. The neck split is at 6.05. Both pickups split 3.43. The bridge and tailpiece are pneumatic, metric, made by Sungil, the Korean factory, the same as in the Purple Sunburst EC-256. Here is the name of the manufacturer, Sungil, on the back of the tailpiece, Daddario strings. Both of these feature a curved top. The black one is all mahogany, the EC-256 Purple Sunburst is a maple top. This one though, the black one, has a multiply white binding on the neck, multiply binding on the headstock, where the purple one has a single ply cream binding on the body and cream binding one ply on the headstock. Both of these guitars feature a molded nut, but I don't like the way they made the seam to the binding and nut on the black EC-256. It's a little better done on the Purple Sunburst. Still not the best, but a little better. These are small differences that you see on a lot of these guitars. Both of these guitars feature the ESP Eclipse LTD waving flag headstock. And look at the logo on the EC-256 Black. It's like a disco ball, all sorts of purple and 3D. The one on the EC-256 Purple Sunburst is like grayish, again 3D but silver gray. Both of these guitars feature the two-way adjustable truss rod adjusted by 4mm Allen wrench, and the cover for the truss rod cavity on this one is the same EC-256 branded, black satin, white on the bottom, single screw gold. Here it is on the Purple Sunburst. The nut is roughly 42mm wide or 1.64 inch. The 12th fret is at 53.4mm or 2.10 inches. Thickness at the first fret is 21mm or 0.82 inch. Thickness at the 12th fret is 23.1mm or 0.90 inches. Chunky. The radius should be 350mm or 14 inches, but I measure somewhere between 12 and 14 inches. I'm calling it 13, same as the Purple Sunburst. ESP are calling this a thin U-neck, but I feel it's slightly chunkier towards the 12th fret. The 3-piece mahogany neck with a set neck construction has a glossy finish and black paint, and I'm not able to see the 3 pieces because of that. Set neck joint is comfy for high fret access, and near the headstock we have a comfortable volute. The headstock features the usual designed by ESP logo, the stupid compliance regulation sticker, made in Indonesia, and the serial number suggests that this one was made in the World Musical Instruments factory in Indonesia in February of 2022 this year. Gold LTD branded tuners, and I'm gonna take one of these off to check if they are made in the same Jinho factory as with the Purple Sunburst. When I was unscrewing this one, I noticed the others are not tight properly, so I'm gonna have to tighten these. The tuner is branded differently, JH, which I assume stands for Jinho LTD on the back, and now I'm gonna show you the one on the Purple Sunburst once again, made by JH Jinho. I'm a little surprised that the purple one doesn't weigh more than the black, with the maple top at 7.44 pounds. The black one weighs at 7.85 pounds. Consistency in manufacturing was the theme of this video, and I seem to prefer the Purple Sunburst over the EC-256 Black. They should be the same, but they're not. The fretwork on the EC-256 Purple Sunburst was way better than the Black, even though this one didn't have the messed up glue on the fingerboard. The purple one felt much easier to play and set up, and overall a little better in quality. This one, the screws were pissing me off, the work with the truss rod was kind of iffy. Overall, it felt lesser in quality than the Purple Sunburst. I think the black one was a little bit rushed because it's a simple finish. A black one doesn't feature a maple cap, and they gave more attention to the Purple Sunburst. Unfortunately, these small inconsistencies and differences in quality are considered to be normal in this price range. Even though the prices of these had increased, they are still considered mid to low level guitars. Here is my advice to you once again. If you have the chance to check one of those out in a shop, go with a more experienced guitarist. Try them out. Check out the fretwork. I'm sure the factory setup will not be great, but take it to a tech afterwards. Do a proper setup. Even though these are great guitars, do not expect them to be perfect right out the box. And even if you get one that has bad fretwork, when you return it you might get one that has glue on the fingerboard. They will all have a different problem. I hope this video was helpful. Don't let it stop you from getting one. You just need to find the proper one.